Good evening, everyone. My name is Lindsay Roert, for anyone that I haven't met yet. I am on the Dream Team as well as Team Fire Up Fit, and I am here to give you my 3 tips today. So, I'm a fairly newer coach. I've only been active for about 4 or 5 months now, but I've been very excited and very motivated after just jumping in head first. And I attended Summit this year, and I've really signed up for any opportunity that I possibly can as far as trainings go online. And I'm really looking to gain as much insight as I can from as many of the top coaches that I can to help me reach my full potential. So when I think of all this, there's so much that whether we're a newer coach or whether we're a coach that's been working the business for a while, these things are thrown at us left and right. They're good things. They're these nuggets that other coaches are utilizing and that are working for them. And we write down all these notes after we listen to a national wake-up call or have a team training or weekly meeting. But how much of it can we utilize? And so what I found as a coach is that along the way, I'm going to focus week by week, and we kind of have that on our print off for the 8 daily incentives of what we're focusing on for our invites. In your top right corner, you have that. So on my 8 daily incentive worksheets that I have each week, I also focus in on one thing that's going to make me be a better coach, okay? And so one week it was PD, and I just really buckled in on PD, and I made sure I read it every day, I highlighted every day, I included it in my posts, and it was great. And the next day, or the next week, I was really making sure that I got 3 to 5 posts in. Because I had heard another coach really talking about it, and I knew how important it was, and I really wasn't doing it consistently. Most days I would have at least 3 posts, but other days I would have 5. Some days I would only have 1 or 2, right? So when we think about all those things, I guess I just first want to start off, because I haven't even started with tip number 1. Make sure that as you take in all of this information, whether I'm giving it to you today or another coach is giving it to you tomorrow, that you write down those notes, but that you just start making a weekly plan with what you can do and with what you know is possible, okay? Because these 3 tips might be 3 different things that you focus on 3 different weeks or 3 different months, or just as you get a hold of different things as a coach, right? Okay. So to start with tip number 1, I just want to preface that this is one thing that we are always told as a coach, and that I heard when I first started, but I didn't really understand the importance of it. And that is just posting. Post in itself, okay? But here's what I add to that. My number 1 tip is to post with the intention of helping others. Don't just post to document your day, because I'll tell you what, people on Facebook who just take photos of their food and say, ooh, had this for lunch every day, they get annoying real fast. I hear many of my family members say how annoying that is to them. So if I am posting my food and I know it's 21-day fix approved and things like that, I think about including something like the nutritional value, or think about adding in a brand of salsa, whatever the recipe was, but the brand that I used and where I bought it, so that if someone is saying, hey, I've tried that before and I hated it, they know something else that they can do to go get it, right? So just thinking of how to take each post and making it more intentional for the value that it gives to others, all right? And with that, make sure that you're posting, they say 3 to 5 times a day, and I'm going to encourage you to post 4 or 5 times a day. Hands down, just make sure you do it. And you also want to consider the time that you're posting. Many of you have probably heard this before too, but I really think that it's something that we easily overlook, and we just say, oh, I need to post right now and I have too much going on later. Well, there are prime times where your audience, there is a majority audience that's on there too, but your audience more specifically might be teachers, and all the schools in your area start at 8 a.m., right? So all my teachers in my area start at 8 a.m., and that's a huge part of my network. So I know that they're getting ready at 6 a.m. And when I was teaching every day, I used to have my phone playing Pandora when I got ready, and my notifications would come up for Facebook on it. And I would check it while I was getting ready, right? So I keep that in mind to my person that I'm like writing to, right? We consider that our avatar, and I consider that from 6 to 7 a.m. in the morning, that's my prime time, and I get a ton of views there, a ton. So that's my first prime time during the day, and I try to always make sure I'm up early and doing that even when I don't have to be. And then also between 8:30 and 9:30 for a lot of people, but I get a lot of people commenting and engaging with me between 9:30 and 10. All right? So number one, make sure you post, and make sure that you really consider who you're doing it for, what kind of value it has, and what time your network of people that you're speaking to is on there. Because if they're on there as it's happening, they're much more likely to see it, to engage with it, and to be benefited from that post. Okay? So tip number 2, schedule your workout like a doctor's appointment. Another thing that you might have heard 100 times through other coaches, but I'm just going to reiterate it and say it wasn't until I started doing this that I really feel like I became a product of the product, that I really saw those results that I had been preaching to all these people that I knew that they could get and that I had seen before, but I had only seen it when I stuck with 21 Day Fix, a month prior. And did it for 21 days straight. And then I had kind of fallen off the wagon, and I was testing out different Beachbody programs, and I wasn't sticking to a plan, and I wasn't seeing the results that I wanted because of that. So make your workout, schedule it like a doctor's appointment. And if you can follow each program that you do to a T, you become 10 times more knowledgeable for your potential customers and coaches to give them insight on what those programs are all about. So you're going to always post. You're always going to work out. Make sure that workout is scheduled just like in a doctor's appointment daily. It needs to happen, okay? And then number 3, I had a hard time just really honing this one in, so I hope that this really makes sense and hopefully resonates with some of you, all right? And I summed it up as saying practice what you preach. And preach what scares you, all right? So this is more of a challenge, I guess, than it even is a tip. But I just became a stay-at-home mom this year, and I'm only working part-time. So I have a lot of days where my schedule is very fluid, very elusive, and it isn't structured or rigid based on what my 9-month-old is doing that day and how he feels and when he needs to be fed and all those little things that go with it, right? So for me, getting up an hour earlier than I typically did. Usually he woke up between 7 and 8, and I would just do that with him. And then I would get my workout in and get my power hour in and all of that throughout the rest of the day. But I knew that it wasn't really working for me. And so another coach proposed what they call the morning makeover, where we were our one goal each day in that morning makeover, when we spent 5 days together, was to wake up an hour early and post on 4 elements that we did. And so I start every day now with a devotional, and writing down what I'm grateful for, and shining light on others. So I choose 4 people that I can send a positive message to each morning, and then I work out. And my days, I just started this last week, have completely transformed. So on Thursday in our team call, I'm going to talk a lot more about that. But I will tell you this, a year ago, if you would have asked me to wake up early before I was pregnant or anything, I would have said, are you crazy? Like, sleep is so important to me, and that is part of my health journey. And there is no way that I'm going to do that. But I will tell you, I've gone through sleep deprivation with my baby boy, and I have suffered from different things like anxiety and depression this past year, where I really think that sleep is a vital behavior that I should be following. But if I know that my day is going to start around 7 and 8 every day, and I can get up an hour earlier to do some things that are going to set the tone for the rest of my day, I just finally realized that I can do it, and I'm going to do it. And I'm going to preach that to other people, because I did something that I was fearful of and I didn't think what was possible. I didn't believe in myself enough to do that. And now I do. And now it's slowly and gradually becoming a daily habit that makes me a better person. So when you practice what you preach, and you preach what scares you, you're going to start seeing some really cool things happen. I had another example with the health bet. I was kind of always worried as a new coach that sending consistent messages to my challengers would get overwhelming to them. Why? I don't really know, but the whole salesy proponent of coaching and that initial fear that so many coaches had kept me from checking in with them more. And maybe some of you just have this down and you're like, Lindsay, you were stupid for not doing that. But especially to you brand new coaches, like, when you message someone and just let them know, hey, I'm thinking of you. How are your workouts going? Or, hey, I'm thinking of you. Have you gotten your Shakeology drinks in, the 5 that you need this week? It lets them know that they're valued. So I have a Sunday ritual now where I text, call, or meet face-to-face with every single one of my challengers. And I have 12 in our health bet group right now who are all brand new. And it is the coolest feeling. And the feedback that I get from them makes me understand what I'm doing to help others. And it benefits me more than them, I feel like. But it also gives me an opportunity to better suit their needs. And I just had someone text me on her own today after I've checked in with her the last 3 weeks through that, and like bigger Sunday check-in, but also just through, the messages that we do on each other's posts throughout the week. And she said, Lindsay, I'm giving you permission right now to hold me accountable for my nutrition. I am letting it slip again this week, and I don't want it to. I eat out almost every day for lunch, and I'm not making good choices. I haven't gone grocery shopping yet. So she and I texted back and forth all day today to make sure that she got her crap together, and she is set up for the next 6 days of this week to be successful and to get her on a better track, even though we're ending our month together. Our relationship is growing stronger, and I'm becoming a better coach, and she's becoming a better challenger, and I'm just so happy for what that brings to me. And again, it was something that scared me. It was something that I thought I really couldn't do or manage time-wise, but I did it. And I've seen amazing results for both me and those people that I'm reaching out to help. So I hope that these 3 tips really help some of you. Make sure you post, and post with intention, and know when you're posting, okay? Make sure that you schedule that workout like a doctor's appointment, and there are no ifs, ands, or buts. If you need to get a babysitter, whatever it is, you are going to do your workout at that time, and nothing else is going to get in the way of that, all right? And then number 3, practice what you preach and do something that scares you, all right? I will be talking more on that, doing something that scares you and setting yourself up for success on Thursday. I'm really looking forward to being a part of that call, and hopefully being able to inspire some of you, no matter what part of your journey as a coach that you're on, just to give you some new ideas and some new nuggets of just a spark of energy, if you will, all right? So thank you for listening today, and I hope that these tips help you. Bye.